guys, back in with another Monday Night Raw review. I've watched the show live. I stayed up for it, and to be honest, until the end, I think I've definitely made the right decision staying up for it. But I'll get to the end at the end of the video. It's just, I think what was the best Monday Night Raw of 2016, in my opinion, was completely ruined by the end and was really disappointing. But the show up until then, guys, was amazing. So to begin the show off, we had Dean Ambrose come out and basically want Lesnar to come out and, talking about, he's probably going to get F5'd again, and so on. So he called out Brock Lesnar, and Stephanie McMahon came out. Her music, first of all, it just drives me insane, and she comes waltzing down and just basically says there's going to be an F5 tonight, but there's no Brock Lesnar. It's going to be a fatal 5-way for the Intercontinental Championship, which I was not expecting that at all. And I was not expecting it to be like a 5-man match, but obviously with the way they were playing it, it made sense since Brock wasn't there, and they were talking about F5, fatal 5-way or whatever. So then Stephanie basically says that Dean's going to defend the IC title, and he's going to defend it now because the fatal 5-way is now. So out comes the first opponent, and it was Kevin Owens, to a huge ovation of cheers. Kevin Owens came out, and from the moment his music hit, and I knew he'd be in the match, I wanted Kevin Owens to win. I didn't want the other three to win, and I didn't want Dean Ambrose. As much as I like him, I didn't want Ambrose winning. I've wanted Kevin Owens to get the IC title back ever since he lost it, because I don't think he should have ever lost it. So Owens came out first, then Stardust, which was a bit disappointing. I thought they were going to have someone a bit better. Tyler Breeze, which was good to see, because Tyler Breeze is amazing in the ring. It's just, I don't know why WWE has done nothing with him. So Tyler Breeze came out fourth, and then the guy I was expecting at 5, Dolph Ziggler, because obviously, he's had a rivalry with both guys. So Ziggler came out as the 5th guy. The match was amazing. For a crowded match like that, it was an odd number. Usually it would be like a 6-man match or a fatal 4-way, something like that. It was a great match, to be honest. All 5 guys played their part, and it was probably the best part of the night. And it ended up with a new champion being crowned and Kevin Owens winning back the IC title. Which, when he hit that pop-up powerbomb on Tyler Breeze, I knew he'd had it. It was 1, 2, 3, and I was so excited. I'm just so glad that KO has got the title back. He's one of my favourite wrestlers. I just think he's awesome at everything he does. And obviously, saying that they shouldn't have took the title off him and put it on Ambrose, I don't think they should have took the title off him. But I was happy with Ambrose being champion as well, because I think Ambrose deserved the championship. So especially something like the IC title. So, but I was still deep down rooting for Kevin Owens to win it. I wanted him to win the Royal Rumble. And even though it was a great match, and I didn't mind the result, I did want KO to win. So for him to get the title back now was great. So then after the match, Ambrose was interviewed backstage straight away by Renee Young, and basically said that he's disappointed, but he's moving on to bigger things, and he's going to win the triple threat. And when you lose one title, you get a better title. So that's basically what he was saying. So he's saying that he's going to win the WWE title, which WWE really are building up Dean Ambrose in this triple threat. It's going to be really interesting to see how they go, because they've built him up much more than Reigns and Lesnar for this match. They built him up so much. He's been closing out shows, he's been opening up shows. So we'll see how it goes. I think he's in with a real chance, actually. Although the story that makes sense is Reigns. They could throw a curveball and potentially put Ambrose in the match, and then Reigns gets pissed and Reigns forces his way into the match. I wouldn't rule out a triple threat at Mania in the main event. Triple H, Ambrose, and Reigns. I wouldn't rule it out. I don't think it's likely, but you never know. So, but then as Ambrose finished his interview, Kevin Owens came along to Renee Young and said that he wants her to give him credit because he told her he'd be the guy to win the title back off Ambrose, and that led to Dolph Ziggler coming up to the mic, and basically all three were backstage. Renee Young with the mic, and obviously Ziggler and Owens, and Dolph Ziggler said, obviously you need an opponent for this Sunday, and I've beaten you the last 2 weeks, so I should be the #1 contender. And he was like, I want you to tell the whole world that that's fact. And Kevin Owens, just the best answer ever, just looked at Ziggler and went, no, and just walked off. Amazing. He's just, the way he plays it is, he plays a type of guy, a really arrogant guy, but it's a real character. There are people like that, and he just plays it so well. So, but later on in the show, the match was confirmed for Fastlane, which is Kevin Owens defending the title against Dolph Ziggler. I think KO will win that. He won't lose 3 straight to Ziggler, and they won't take the title straight off Kevin Owens like that, because I don't think they're going to give it to Ziggler. So I think that will end the rivalry there as well. So thank God. But yeah, great way to open up the show for the first 45 minutes. It was amazing. So then we had Mark Henry and Big E. Struggling to think then for a minute. We had Mark Henry and Big E in a match. Well, New Day came out first and just said how Mark Henry walked out on them last week, which led to Mark Henry coming out. And obviously, the match was never going to be great in my opinion, because I don't think Mark Henry's got any great matches left in him. It was okay. The ending was really strange though, because Big E got Henry up for the big ending, and Henry just slid off and fell to the ground holding his chest, and so Big E pinned him, and that was it. Whether that was meant, I can't believe that was meant to happen. That was, because if that was, even if that was meant to happen, it was really badly pulled off. So, but Big E got the win. Surprisingly, there's no tag team title match at Fastlane, which is it just reassures. Well, it just makes the point of what me and a lot of fans have been saying, that they need to promote Enzo and Big Cass to the main roster, and even a couple of other tag teams soon in the near future. But now they need Enzo and Big Cass, because they're literally going into the pay-per-view before WrestleMania with the New Day not defending their tag team titles because they've gone through everyone. It's like they have no challengers. So why are you waiting? They might as well bring Enzo and Big Cass up right now to the main roster. It makes sense. That would be an awesome rivalry, awesome matches, awesome on the mic between them. But instead, they're just going through a pay-per-view with no tag team title match, when they could easily bring them up and have it. So, yeah. Well, obviously, I don't think Enzo and Cass would have challenged the New Day for the titles at Fastlane. But I could have seen them bring them up now just to, start building them and have the New Day defend it against someone at Fastlane, and then obviously Enzo and Big Cass get their title shot at WrestleMania, which I think will happen anyway. But they'll probably be introduced on the Monday after Fastlane, I think. But just the way the tag team division is, they could have done it now without having them to have the match at Fastlane. So we'll see how that goes though. Then we had Brie Bella, who came out and was just talking about Daniel Bryan, and got interrupted by Charlotte and Ric Flair. And then, so Charlotte was looking hot as well, to be fair. Wow. But yeah, Charlotte and Ric Flair came out, and Charlotte was just basically saying that Brie Bella should not, face her at Fastlane. She should go home and take care of her sister and husband, because they're both, obviously Daniel Bryan's had to retire and Nikki Bella's had surgery. So just trying to get in her head, play mind games or whatever. And then Brie Bella just had enough and started going for it on Charlotte, throwing some punches, everything. It was an okay bit of build up. It was the best bit of Divas action of the night, to be honest. So yeah, that was okay. But yeah, Charlotte's gonna retain Fastlane. That's a given, in my opinion. I just can't see Brie Bella winning, because I don't think she's got any part to play at WrestleMania, put it that way. I think Charlotte will retain and then face Sasha and Becky in a triple threat at Mania, which is the way I want it to go, and I think the way it will go. So then we had The Miz versus AJ Styles, which was a contender for match of the night. It was definitely the singles match of the night, the one-on-one. The Miz would actually, put on a great match, because a lot of his matches have been like really short recently. But the match with AJ Styles was amazing, much better than their SmackDown match. There was some crazy kickouts from The Miz, AJ Styles, awesome moves, and AJ Styles ended up getting the win after a long but really good match. To be honest, it really wasn't that far off Styles versus Jericho in my opinion. It was a really good match. But Styles got the win with his submission move, the calf killer, or the Styles, I can't remember what it's called now. But that like submission move where he like rolls them over. Got the win with that, which was really good. And then he got the mic and basically made an offer to Y2J saying, obviously we've won one apiece, let's have a third match at Fastlane. And Jericho, they are slightly turning him heel, I think, and he said, it's a tempting offer, sounds good, but I don't know if I want to face you again, and just walked out. But he said he'll give him a decision on Thursday on SmackDown, which obviously I think he's going to say yes. Why build it for nothing then? So obviously Y2J versus AJ is going to happen at Fastlane, which will be probably match of the night. It could easily be match of the night, that. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Styles versus Y2J, third time round. Then we had the Dudley Boys come out. I really didn't care. Yeah, sorry, I did not care, so I'm not going to talk about it. Then a follow-up, didn't care, won't talk about it. Paige versus Summer Rae. I'm sick of matches being thrown together. It's not, if it was, I don't think there's any time for it, but if it was a long way before WrestleMania, I'm okay. But this is, we're so close to WrestleMania now, and they're just still throwing matches together that have no sense, that won't be on Raw again, that is not a rivalry, it's not a feud, it's not. And I just, at this point, before I talk about it, because it was on the show, because it's near WrestleMania time, I'm sick of it, and I'm not going to talk about matches like that, to be honest. So then we had a great part of the show, a part of the show that I really enjoyed, which was Paul Heyman. And I'm going to go out and say this, I think wrestlers, non-wrestlers, just everyone in the WWE, I think the best person on the mic in the whole of WWE is Paul Heyman. I just think he can sell a promo. So he could stand there for 45 minutes and talk, and the crowd will be into it. They'll be silent, they'll be listening, there won't be any "this is boring" chants. Paul Heyman is insane on the mic. That's why basically he just stands there and talks, but he just does it so much better. Like Vince McMahon, he doesn't do anything but talk when he comes out, but Paul Heyman he's on another level, and he's just amazing. So Paul Heyman was in the ring and was basically talking up Roman Reigns in this part, not Lesnar. Or, he was saying that his beast is going to win, obviously, but he wasn't talking much about Ambrose. He was talking about the Samoan badass Roman Reigns, in his words. And basically wanted Roman Reigns to come out so he could say what he had to say face to face. So Reigns comes out, they shake hands. It looked like a really legit, respectful moment. Obviously at the end of it, I'm not too sure whether it was, but it could be, it could not. But basically they were talking back and forth, and Paul Heyman was saying that, Reigns has got a massive decision to make. Is he going to provide for his family, which means cut ties with Ambrose as a friendship and do what's needed to win the WWE title, or is he gonna, obviously this was part of the storyline, but is he gonna lose his family in terms of stay with Ambrose as keep their friendship really tight and potentially lose the match just because they're friends? So that was, Heyman was trying to get in his head kind of thing, and just putting some points across. And then for the first time in a long time, Reigns on the mic for a good period of time, and he was pretty decent. He was really good, actually. I thought what he was saying was really interesting. It was to the point. There wasn't any silly jokes. It was him, a lot more of just him being him, and It was a lot more organic, unique, and it just fitted that scene really well. So he got some cheers, got some boos. I think honestly, guys, for the majority of his career, I think it's going to be like this. It's going to be some cheers, some boos. Obviously, at some points in his career, when he turns heel, because I think he will at some point, he has to. He'll get booed, obviously, a lot more. But I think he'll, once he gets past the boos as a heel, I think he'll play the heel so well. It could be a Kevin Owens type thing wing, obviously Owens was never really booed badly, but Reigns will get booed, but then he'll play it so well that he'll get cheered, type of thing. And then obviously when he comes back as a face, hopefully then the crowd's on his side. But we'll see how that goes. But that scene was amazing. And then as Paul Heyman leaves the ring, they shake hands, leaves the ring, and the Dudleys attack Roman Reigns from behind. So they ambush Reigns. Ambrose comes out to make the save. They get rid of the Dudleys, and then Ambrose and Reigns fist pump. Reigns turns around, but Ambrose pulls his shoulder and gets him in the dirty deeds. Doesn't hit it. Reigns gets out of it, and then they kind of laugh at each other, and then pump fists again. But definitely, Ambrose is ready to turn. If he has to win the belt, he's going to do it. And I think the same goes for Reigns now. I think, and right to finish off the scene, right at the end, when Ambrose came back to the rope to look down on the Dudleys, you could see Reigns was looking across in shock, and it's definitely tension, and definitely one of them's going to turn on each other to win the match, something like that, I reckon. So great scene. I'm happy they've built up the tension between the two, because I was getting a bit sick of friendly friends all the time, So that was really good. I can't wait for the triple threat just to see what happens. Then we had Heath Slater versus Zack Ryder. Don't care. I'm sorry, guy. I'm not going to talk about that. No one cares. Then we had the Lucha Dragons and Neville versus the League of Losers, or as they're better known, League of Nations. Del Rio, Sheamus, and Rusev versus obviously the Lucha Dragons and Neville. And the League of Nations got the win with Del Rio hitting that stomp, not in the corner this time, but Sin Cara was tangled between the ropes in the middle, and he did a jumping stomp from the corner of the top rope and got the pin. Again, it's been done a lot this recently. I'm looking forward to Kalisto versus Del Rio for the US title, so we can get it over and done with. Kalisto can keep the title, which I think will happen, and hopefully it happens, and then move on past Del Rio to something else, because it won't. If Kalisto retains, it's not going to happen at WrestleMania again. And even if Del Rio wins it back, I don't think it'll happen at WrestleMania, because they've done it so much now. But I think Kalisto will retain, and hopefully he does, just to get it over and done with. Then we had Becky Lynch versus Naomi. Becky Lynch got the win. Tamina and Naomi attacked her after, and Sasha came out to make the save. So just a bit of building up towards the tag team match of Fastlane, not much really. And then we had the worst part of the show. First of all, I was really looking forward to Braun Strowman versus Big Show, because WWE highly rates Braun Strowman, and that he's going to be a big character moving forward in the main event picture as a solo guy, I think. And this was the first time we got to see him in singles action by himself, and obviously it wasn't a great match, obviously, but I was really intrigued, which kept me into it, if you will. The only reason I was into it is because I was intrigued to see Braun Strowman like everyone else, and it was decent. He was nothing was really messed up. He was doing okay. He was getting in position to pull off some moves, and then the Wyatt family just disqualify Braun Strowman by attacking the Big Show, and they all start beating down the Big Show. But the match was going well. It's just so they show what he can do, and then just take that away, and then. But the big problem, that's not even the big problem, that's a small little thing. The big problem is that this ended the show before Fastlane, the Monday Night Raw before Fastlane, and going into WrestleMania. The scene that ended the show on Monday Night Raw was the Wyatt family getting beaten up by the Big Show, Kane, and Ryback to end Monday Night Raw. Are you fucking serious? Like, what are you doing? This is, I mean, are they literally trying to make people hate the product and leave? Like, why are you showing that as the main, not, well, I guess you could say the main event of Raw because it's at the end. Usually at the end, in past weeks we've had a bit of Lesnar, Reigns, Ambrose before, middle, and then at the end, or, middle and end, or whatever, at the beginning and end. Or we've at least had something that made sense, that was the main event part of WWE, that always ends Monday Night Raw. And just to have this end Monday Night Raw I just couldn't believe it. After such a good show as well, to just put that on at the end and have Ryback trying to be Goldberg, which he's really not, running out in his little black pants, and then Kane just crawling up the ring. Saw that a few months ago against Seth Rollins. You lost against Seth Rollins. You didn't win the championship. You did it F all then. And just like, it was so bad. But and it did ruin. I don't care if people say that I'm, picking here, and the rest of the show was good, so I shouldn't care about the end. Obviously, I'm gonna care because, we're so close to WrestleMania and Fastlane's, less than a week away. You really want the best part of the show and main events building up. This is where you've really got to grasp the fans, not have Kane, Ryback, and the Big Show stand tall to end Monday Night Raw. Like, doesn't make any sense at all. But if I'm putting that aside, I thought Monday Night Raw was really good. It's not one of the best I've seen ever, obviously, but it was the best in 2016 in terms of just matches and what happened, and there was a bit of surprise, obviously, with the IC title match and the changing hands and all that. So, apart from the end, good show. So that was my Monday Night Raw review. I'll make my Fastlane preview and predictions in the week, guys, probably on Thursday. Tomorrow or Thursday I'll probably do it. I'll have my Fastlane predictions up, and I hope you guys check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you soon, guys. Bye.